Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Ripple has launched a private blockchain based on the XRP ledger for central banks to help them launch central bank digital currencies. Well, how about that? Now, there's a lot of interesting things about this, frankly. First of all, we knew something like this was coming. We just didn't know exactly what it would be. Second of all, this presents Moon Lambeau an opportunity for a "see, I told you so" moment for people that thought the XRP ledger itself was ever going to be used by central banks to launch their own digital currencies. I've been saying for the entirety of the lifespan of this channel, that's not a word, the entirety of the lifespan of this channel, that's conspiracy theory, way left field nonsense. It's just not going to happen, and this illustrates that point. But this is good stuff. This actually is good for XRP, and it's been interesting reading initial comments about this. There are a number of XRP community members out there that are kind of miffed, but this doesn't use XRP. Well, simmer down now. Simmer down now, son. I'm gonna take care of you. It's all gonna be good. This is very good news for the XRP community and for XRP, the native digital asset to the XRP ledger. And this news just broke not long ago as I record this. It's 1:58 p.m. exactly, Central Standard Time. I'm in the Midwest in the United States. And Ripple at least tweeted this exactly 1 hour ago, this story. So it's part of their blog series titled, the title of the blog series is Ripple Insights. Now, I do want to be clear that I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast. I like tracking crypto and XRP and Ripple-related news and making YouTube videos about it. It's a very fun hobby, but that is indeed all that it is. You guys remember me covering this story? Look at this headline from the Daily Hodl. Ripple launches push to make XRP ledger integral part of digital bank digital currency movement. And this is from November 22nd of 2020, so just a few months ago. I just want to make sure we set the table properly before we jump into the latest piece. I'll be brief with this stuff, but I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Ripple is pushing to bring the XRP ledger to the world of central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs for short. The San Francisco startup is looking to hire a senior director of central bank engagements, according to a new job listing. So at this point, when we saw that there's a job listing, that's when we're like, okay, so whatever Ripple is doing, they're very serious about making sure that they're at a minimum having notable communication with central banks around the planet if they're going to actually hire somebody to take care of this. And we did find out a little bit more in the weeks after that, which I'll highlight in just a second here. But this story resulted in tremendous misunderstanding and confusion within the XRP community, and I actually understand why. So take a look at this. Here's a quote from the job listing. Ripple is looking for a proven leader to lead our strategy, partnerships, and project work with central banks around the world with an initial focus on supporting their central bank digital currency initiatives on XRP Ledger. So right there, you can see how that would be confusing. Central bank digital currency initiatives on XRP Ledger. You might think, oh, okay, so we know that we can issue IOUs on the XRP ledger, so we're talking about issuing central bank digital currencies on the XRP ledger. Totally understand why people's minds went there, but that was never going to be it, and I knew that from the get-go, which I'm going to articulate in just a moment here. But then they even cite this later in the article. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse recently said central banks can consider using the XRP ledger to issue stablecoins. He also said XRP could be used as a bridge asset to exchange digital forms of fiat. And so, to be clear, what Brad Garlinghouse was actually talking about was the fact that the XRP ledger is open source software. Anybody can utilize it. And so what you can do is you can take that open source software, copy it, and then do whatever you want with it. But once you do that, understand, it's no longer the XRP ledger. It's whatever you want to call it. I don't care. You can call it whatever the hell you want. But it wouldn't actually be the XRP ledger. And I've been articulating that central banks, and they actually, I'm so glad they fleshed this out. It's the same stuff that I've been saying, but in the Ripple Insights piece, they explained it. But it's certainly the case. Well, there are a lot of reasons that in terms of monetary policy, a central bank digital currency is no different than the current digital form of fiat currency. It's the same thing in terms of monetary policy. in terms of who the issuer is, in terms of the fact that it's centralized. It's just a more efficient digital version. But understand the United States dollar. Yeah, there's paper versions and metallic currency. Oh, I hate coin. I hate coin so much. Oh my God, really grinds my gears. But it's the United States dollar is digital today. And let's say there's a central bank digital currency version of the future. Okay, it's still digital. So what changed? Well, efficiencies and the way that the technology underlying it fundamentally works, but it does nothing to change the monetary policy. And in terms of what you can do in issuing an IOU on the XRP ledger, that was never going to offer sufficient control for a central bank to issue a central bank digital currency on the XRP ledger itself. It just didn't make a lick of sense. Again, I can totally understand why people would be asking that and seeking clarity. And if you're one of those, hey, I'm glad you're forward, you're just trying to get the truth. Awesome, good on you for that. But it was never going to happen, right? And then a few weeks later, December 15th, 2020, we had this article. Ripple plans to leverage payments platforms and XRP Ledger for delivery of central bank digital currencies. Ripple is actively planning on offering central banks a toolset that will enable them to implement various forms of central bank digital currencies, according to Ross Edwards, the company's global head of client solutions. In a recent Ripple presentation, Edwards highlights the company's suite of cross-border payment products and enterprise solutions for financial institutions, and he says the company plans to take those developments to the public sector world. And here's a quote: "We're able to further leverage this technology as infrastructure suited to the exploration, ideation, and eventual delivery of a fully functional central bank digital currency." And so we knew that something was coming. So at this point, halfway through December, some sort of tool set, something or other, having somewhat loosely at a minimum to do with the XRP ledger. And then we get this today. And this is written by a Ripple employee named James Wallace, who I'm actually not familiar with, but again, part of the Ripple Insights blog series titled "Ripple Pilots a Private Ledger for Central Banks Launching Central Bank Digital Currencies." So I'm going to run through this, and I'm going to articulate why this is good for the XRP ecosystem itself, even though we're talking about a separate private blockchain. Ripple is piloting a private version of the public open source XRP ledger that provides central banks a secure, controlled, and flexible solution for the issuance and management of digital currency. So already right there, the conspiracy theories, the left-wing, not left-wing, but the left field rather, comments that were completely nutty, stating, in my mind, the ones, I mean, look, it was okay to question whether or not it would be the case that, a central bank would issue a currency, but once you think through it, if you still held on to that belief after analytically thinking through everything, that's like a nutty position to have. If you have availed yourself of all available information, that's way too far out there. And so right there, this squashes it right there. They've created a separate private ledger specifically for this use case that some people in the community, it was fringe people in the community, were insisting, the XRP ledger would be used for. The piece continues. With over 80% of central banks actively exploring some form of sovereign-backed cryptocurrency, the arrival of the world's first central bank digital currency is inevitable. And actually, I want to pause there. It's funny because no offense, Mr. Wallace here, but I think you're missing a key piece of information. There already has been a central bank digital currency launched. It's just nobody's been paying attention. I reported it on my channel, so I was aware of it. But here you go, October 21st, 2020. The Bahamas launches world's first central bank digital currency called the Sand Dollar. How about that? The very first central bank digital currency. So it's not just inevitable, as you typed there. No offense to you. But it has already happened. It has indeed already happened. And you're going to see a ton more of these as time passes. Anyway, the piece continues. Each new central bank digital currency will have unique goals driven by the specific market challenges and opportunity of its country, unavoidably leading to different technologies and implementations, leaving the world with an array of central bank digital currencies. Exactly here. And did you ever think, if you were one of the people that really thought that the XRP ledger was going to be used for this use case rather than a private blockchain, why? Because think about this. Think about the degree to which monetary sovereignty is important to any nation. And then understand that if you're talking about utilizing not just distributed ledger technology, but decentralized distributed ledger technology, that means that you don't have, as a central authority running the nation, you don't have control over your monetary system anymore. In what world could that even almost makes sense, which is why to me, like, you spend half a second thinking about this. Of course, that's not what was going to happen. Then they have this little subheading here, though. Central bank digital currency challenges. Distributed ledger technology will be the basis for most central bank digital currencies, just as it is for today's cryptocurrencies. While central banks can tap into existing blockchains to get central bank digital currencies up and running quickly, most ledgers are not built for payments and cannot handle the volume of transactions that a successful retail central bank digital currency will require. Most blockchains are public ledgers, visible to all and updated by a broad network of validators. A central bank requires more transaction privacy and control over its currency than a public ledger can offer, so will most likely opt to create a central bank digital currency on a private ledger that can also operate at the required scale. Moon Lambo. I'm just patting. Can you hear this? This is me patting myself on the back. See, I told you so. Moments. And I know most of you got that. I understand that most of you, after logically thinking through it, even if you had, because having the question was fine, but once you logically thought through it, most of you got it. But there's a small fringe that just insisted no. Here you go. Ripple says otherwise. So anyway, additionally, interoperability, the ability for a private ledger to connect with today's existing global financial infrastructure, as well as other central bank digital currencies and other digital currencies, will be critical. In fact, in its 2021/2022 innovation program, the Bank for International Settlements identified interoperability for cross-border payments as a major priority for central bank digital currencies. And now we're getting to the core of it. So even though the XRP ledger isn't apparently the panacea that some of the crazy fringe people think it is, it's incredible enough in and of itself. Just, the opportunity that legitimately exists without the conspiracy theory, left field nonsense. XRP absolutely can be used to stitch together the financial system that's being built out today. XRP can be used as a bridge currency. It functionally already is today, just not on the scale that we'd like to see. But, crypto asset class, it's in its nascency. We need to see additional maturation of the asset class. But hey, all good things in time. We're building out corridors, increasing liquidity. All this stuff is happening here. And so there is no other cryptocurrency that is being positioned for this. And almost no cryptocurrencies on the planet that exist would be good for this use case. XRP was built for payments. Now, technically fine. I understand that when David Schwartz and Arthur Brito and Jed McCaleb were building the damn thing almost a decade ago, they didn't know what it was going to be used for. They've acknowledged that. They were loosely something payments, so it was built for payments. But still, the idea was to build something that was blisteringly fast compared to Bitcoin, because these were early Bitcoiners that liked Bitcoin, that saw some potential shortcomings down the road, which have come to pass. And they just wanted to build a better version of Bitcoin that would work for payments. And it still can do that. So you have this with a blend of interledger protocol. You can connect all of this stuff here. And so then they have this little subheading, the CBDC private ledger. The central bank digital currency private ledger is based on the same blockchain technology that powers the XRP ledger, which means that the central bank digital currency private ledger is built for payments. And so to be clear, this is what they have called this new technology, this clone of the XRP ledger that is a private ledger. It is called the Central Bank Digital Currency Private Ledger. That's the official name, so far as I can tell. And again, it is based on XRP ledger technology. It's just a clone of it, and that's awesome. That is fantastic. Now, this means the Central Bank Digital Currency Private Ledger is designed for issuing currencies, with over 5,400 currencies issued on the XRP ledger over the past 8 years, including its native digital asset XRP, which can be leveraged as a neutral bridge asset for frictionless value movement between central bank digital currencies and other currencies. Well, how about that? And what did they just cite a few sentences prior to that? The Bank for International Settlements identified interoperability for cross-border payments as a major priority for central bank digital currencies. It all goes together, like spaghetti and meatball. It's perfect. What a great combo. Central bank digital currencies and XRP as a bridge currency. Tell you what, I know what I hate, and I don't hate this. Moving money on the central bank digital currency private ledger will be cost-effective, reliable, and close to instantaneous. Transactions can also happen at volumes required by central banks. The central bank digital currency private ledger will handle tens of thousands of transactions per second initially, with the potential to scale to hundreds of thousands of transactions per second over time. So there you go. So it's not exactly the same as the XRP ledger. It's based on the XRP ledger technology. Now, also for XRP, I'm not going to get into this for this video, but XRP ledger absolutely can scale. There are technological solutions that we're just, so far away from that 1,500 transaction per second cap with XRP that it's not necessarily a priority to be built out, but get there in time. But this right out the gate, holy hell. And they're talking about scaling to hundreds of thousands of transactions per second. This sounds desirable. So it's basically a template. That's what this is. The central bank digital currency private ledger. It's basically a template that central banks can take and make their own and have complete monetary sovereignty over it. To continue to, since they're the central authority, have complete power over it. It won't be decentralized. It'll be a private ledger utilizing distributed ledger technology. Super duper. That sounds absolutely fantastic. And absolutely, XRP can be at the core of this. And again, given, like I said, that there is no other cryptocurrency being positioned for this use case, how could anyone perceive this as bad? But some do. I mean, you can go through all sorts of this stuff here. I don't know if maybe I could find... Actually, yeah, so here's a tweet from Jesse Hines who tweeted out. This is attorney Jesse Hines. I'm sure some of you are familiar with him now. He's been talking about all sorts of stuff with the SEC versus Ripple case, which has been valuable just to learn his insight. He wrote, calm down people who scream, not using XRP. XRP was never going to be a central bank digital currency, but how do you think you bridge them? Exactly. Killing it right there. And then he actually went through, and there were a bunch of people that were saying this. I don't know if I could find an example off the top of my head. It doesn't necessarily matter, but I was going through, and there were all sorts of people that were really miffed that... XRP wasn't being used on whatever this central bank digital currency private ledger would end up being here. So there we go. Look, it's all positive, it's all solid, it's all good stuff. Nothing has changed, in terms of the monetary policy, like I said, and the only solution to fix the world of global cross-border payments, which is an absolute train wreck now, requires a technologically sufficient decentralized cryptocurrency with an open market price. Because if it's decentralized, you don't have to worry about trusting somebody. You just have to trust in the cryptography there. So there we go. But I'll go ahead and wrap up there. Thank you very much for stopping by, guys. I hope you guys are excited about this and recognize that this is a net positive for XRP. And if not, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to talk up more in future videos if anybody has any additional concerns, but I don't want this to go any longer, so I will wrap up here. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.